People use the term blackbird for two different families of birds. The Old World blackbirds of the Turdidae family live in Eurasia, Africa, Australia, and the surrounding islands. The New World blackbirds of the Icteridae family live in the Americas. For our purposes, we will focus this article on the New World blackbirds in the Icteridae family. Description of the blackbird. Like their name suggests, these birds normally have predominantly black plumage or feathers. Some also have areas with red, white, yellow, and more. With over 26 different species in the family, there is plenty of variation between individuals. In more colorful species, females are usually duller than males. Most of these birds are about 8 inches long, but they range in size. Their weight also ranges between 1 and 4, and some species weigh more than others. Interesting facts about the blackbird. There are many different species of blackbirds, and they come in a variety of colors. Learn about some individual species below. First point. Red-winged blackbird. Their name really says it all. Red wings are blackbirds with, you guessed it, red wings. The red feathers in their plumage grow on their shoulders rather than the entire wing. On the other hand, females are neither black nor red-winged, but mottled brown. Second point. Rusty blackbird. Rusty blackbirds are another species that have a fitting name. However, unlike red wings, rusties only have rusty-colored plumage during the wintertime. In winter, males look like they have a thick layer of rust across their head, chest, and back. Third point. Yellow-headed blackbird. Staying on trend, we move to the yellow-headed blackbird. As with the previous species, the yellowhead has a bright yellow head and chest. Unlike the other species, the female also has a yellow head, though the yellow is not as bright and covers a smaller area. Fourth point. Brewer's blackbird. This species is your typical blackbird. Its plumage is uniform black, with an iridescent sheen that appears blue-green in the light. These common birds live across much of North America, and despite their name, these typically birds prefer eating insects to crops. Habitat of the blackbird. The various blackbird species live throughout a wide range of different habitats. Some of the different ecosystems that they inhabit include forests, bogs, wetlands, swamps, woodlands, meadows, scrubland, grasslands, and more. Many species prefer living in semi-aquatic habitats, like swamps, wetlands, and flooded meadows or fields. Several different species also thrive in areas where humans live, including farms, pastures, parks, backyards, gardens, and cities. The specific habitat preference of each species varies, but most of these birds are relatively flexible and live in a variety of different ecosystems. Distribution of the blackbird. New World species live across North, Central, and South America. There are also non-related blackbirds throughout Eurasia, Africa, and Australia. Those birds in the Icteridae family live from Canada, throughout the United States and Mexico, into Central and South America. Different species have different ranges and distributions. Some migrate seasonally, others live in the same place year-round, and others do both depending on what region they live in. Diet of the blackbird. Most of these birds are omnivores, which means that they eat both plants and animals. Because they are relatively small, they generally feed on insects and other invertebrates, though some species feed on small reptiles and amphibians. They eat a variety of seeds, berries, grains, fruits, and more. These birds also hunt for flies, spiders, grasshoppers, ants, beetles, worms, and more. Each species has different dietary preferences, and many eat just about anything that they can swallow. Blackbird and human interaction. Humans impact different blackbird species in different ways. Some are incredibly abundant and common, while others have experienced sharp population declines. These birds face various threats, but some of the most pressing are habitat destruction, intentional harm to protect crops, pesticides, insecticides, and more. We impact each species in different fashions, and at different severities, though many face similar dangers. Does the blackbird make a good pet? No, these birds do not make good pets. Even though many species are quite pretty to look at, and are relatively small, they are wild birds. Under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, it is illegal to harm, harass, capture, or kill many species of blackbirds. Blackbird care. In zoos, blackbirds require similar care to other songbirds. Their enclosures are quite large, and give them plenty of space to exercise and forage for food. Some live in aviary-style enclosures, with trees and shrubs growing in them, and a variety of other species living alongside them. Social species live in flocks with others of their kind. Zookeepers feed them a variety of insects, seeds, berries, nuts, fruits, and pelleted bird feed. The behavior of the blackbird. These birds are diurnal, or active during the day. Many species are social, and outside of the breeding season, they live in flocks with other blackbirds. Some species even interact and forage with other songbirds, like grackles, starlings, cowbirds, and more. While in flocks, several individuals take over guard duty. They perch up high, and if they spot a predator, they sound an alarm call to alert the rest of the flock. Reproduction of the blackbird. Even though there are many different species, blackbirds have relatively similar reproductive rates. Their reproductive behavior, including courtship dances or songs, does vary from species to species. Some species breed in large colonies with other pairs. Most females lay between 3 and 5 eggs per clutch. The incubation period usually lasts around 2 weeks, and the young are completely helpless and naked at hatching. It takes just 2 weeks for most hatchlings to begin learning to fly, and they gain their independence soon after. Tricolored blackbird. Interesting facts. First one. What type of animal is a tricolored blackbird? The tricolored blackbird is a passerine bird species with 3 colors on its body. These tricolored birds can sing their bird songs quite well along with their group. Second one. What class of animal does a tricolored blackbird belong to? The tricolored blackbird belongs to the aves class of animals. The red-winged blackbird species belongs to the family of Icteridae, and can be found in the Central Valley in California with help of a range map, bird guide, and field guide. Third one. How many tricolored blackbirds are there in the world? The population of tricolored blackbird species has declined over the past decades across their breeding range in agricultural areas of California. There were an estimated 2 to 3 million tricolored blackbirds in the 1930s, and now there are only 300,000 birds left in the world. Next one. Where does a tricolored blackbird live? This species from order Passeriformes can be found living in large colonies in the agricultural areas of North America. Its range is from Central Valley in Northern California in the United States of America to Baja California in Mexico. These birds are native to Washington, Oregon, and Nevada. These birds prefer to live in large colonies in open agricultural areas like farms, ranches, fields. Due to the weather changes, these birds are migratory birds. They travel to Mexico in the winters and back to California in the summers in the same large colonies. These birds live in nests which are mostly in freshwater marshy areas, or in triticale fields. Their nests are built from long leaves. Next one. What is a tricolored blackbird's habitat? The tricolored blackbird usually inhabits near marshy areas, open fields, or farms in the form of large colonies. Their breeding colonies are also found in dense areas of cattails and bulrushes. It prefers to be in open habitats such as farms, fields, lawns, ranches, even when the birds of this species are breeding. Next one. Who do tricolored blackbirds live with? Tricolored blackbirds live in large groups. It nests and forages in large groups only near wetlands. They join flocks of blackbirds, brown-headed cowbirds, and European starlings. They are mostly walking on the grounds while foraging. Birds of this endangered species prefer to forage in flocks. Next one. How long does a tricolored blackbird live? The lifespan of the tricolored blackbird is not known as such, but the estimated age they can live up to is 13 years in marshes or near wetlands. Better food opportunities and good habitats can help these endangered birds live a longer life in the areas of Merced County, California. Next one. How do they reproduce? The males routinely mate with 1 or more females during the breeding season in spring. The female tricolored blackbird lays 4 eggs at a time, usually in the range of 3 to 6 eggs in their nest in the dense breeding colonies. They build open cup nests in trees, shrubs, or on the ground. The incubation period is 11 days in the nest, for which both the males and females take turns. It takes 11 to 15 days for the newborn to leave the nest after hatching. These birds breed in both spring and fall. They breed twice a year in 2 different locations. Males can breed when they turn 2, and females can start to breed when they are 1 year old. Next one. What is their conservation status? The population of these birds has largely declined in recent years. They are declared as threatened species, or endangered species by some countries, mainly by the Californian agencies in terms of conservation status. Under the IUCN Red List, it is considered a species with the least concern in terms of conservation status. So, today we are talking about full details about blackbird. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos.